2026. It is 9 a.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. Please rise for an invocation by Commissioner Tony Haas, followed by the pledge of allegiance by Commissioner Lucero.
Heavenly Father, thank you for another day. We come before you in need of healing and strength. We surrender our pain, our worries, our burdens to you. We ask for your divine touch for restoration and wholeness back to this nation. Please continue to bless our loved ones and keep them free from disease and harm. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioners. Roll call. Veronica?
Commissioner Searle,
Here.
Commissioner Hess,
Here.
Commissioner Lopez.
Here. Approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda, Mr. Veronica?
No changes, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve the agenda. Second the motion.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. We're going to go to section 2, consideration of minutes, regular meeting minutes of January 6, 2026. Commissioners, we've had the meetings, the opportunity to review them. Do we have any additions, deletions, any comments? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve the regular meeting minutes of January 6, 2026.
Second.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. Reading of correspondence, Commissioner Committee reports. Commissioner Lucero, would you like to go first, sir?
On January 9th, I sat in on a meeting with the Eastern Plains Renewable Energy Impact Study presented by the consultant is Energia. I gave a project overview, and over the next year, the project will assess existing and proposed utilities scales renewable energy projects, analyze environmental and economic impacts, and evaluate contributions to Colorado energy goals. Like I say, it will take a year to do that. Also, on the 16th of January, had a meeting with the interagency governmental work group for the Cimarron of Comanche National Grassland Plan Review, which is an ongoing project. That's my report.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Hess.
On the 9th of January, CCI and DNR had a hearing of a bill, a proposed bill that DNR is bringing forward. And from the last time we heard it, it's significantly better with agriculture and private property rights being mentioned at least 8 times throughout the bill. And we were wanting to make sure that ag was protected. Then on the 12th, actually Colorado had their annual board meeting. There were 50 people present. It was all virtual. The main topics of consideration were talking about artificial intelligence, data centers that were 30 megawatts and larger, clean heat plan, energy, Medicaid, justice, water, healthcare. And Mr. Beasley did a presentation on the urban and rural divide and how that it's continuing to grow. Ty Winters was there. He basically said that this session is going to be in defense of ag and rural counties, that it's going to be a tough one for him this year. He's running a bill to identify the county nexus of every bill. He and I had a discussion about 18 months ago. He was going to introduce this bill last year and run out of time. But one thing that at CCI that we continue to hear, and you gentlemen have heard it too, is that state fiscal impact. We're not going to do this because of the state fiscal impact. What about that fiscal impact to the county? So I got with Ty and said, we need to identify that before moving forward with any bill. The legislators ought to see what that county impact is going to be too, because we cannot handle any more unfunded mandates. If it's not going to come with funding, then we can't absorb that. And so he's introducing a bill this year, and we've actually got a couple sponsors to sign on. So be exciting to hear his presentation on Friday, gentlemen. And then on the 12th, the Unified Wolf Coalition met again. I'm attending that on behalf of our county and also as vice chair of LACC Colorado. The question of the total cost of the project, the wolf reintroduction progress project, has reached the JBC, and the DNR disputed the claim that the 25 cost being $1 million plus, and they said last year it was closer to 600,000, and we know that isn't right. And anyway, there's seat vacancies on the CPW board. They're going to fill those vacancies. They're also going to fill Mr. Jeff Davis's position too here soon. They've narrowed it down to 3 individuals, and we should be hearing soon who that's going to be. Also on the 12th, C-Corps had a presentation. C-Corps 19, Kristen Carpenter and the consortium did a presentation, and there was discussion around the criminal justice dollars, and I'll let you finish the conversation. I know that we had our own Kim Gonzalez from our Los Angeles County Health Department there asking for some support, and she did get that support. On the 13th, Emergent Campus had what they called Tech Night Out, and we met over here at the Emergent Campus. The presentation was around the hackathon project, a week-long event held in November, and Christine Loudon and Ahura Thomas were there to do the presentation. Some of the projects that were introduced, I just wrote down the top 7 were, one project was to repurpose old software, another one was adopt a pocket, and these are derelict spaces throughout the city to be adopted and beautified. Stories of Trinidad, and that one would be pictures of buildings outside in a kiosk. Click on the QR code, it tells you the history of what's going on. That was another project. Local resources app to identify, especially for our senior citizens, somebody that can shovel and walk, do plumbing, that sort of thing. Tool library, lawn or yard tools available that have been donated. If you need some, you can check them out and bring them back. And also, if you're able and you can do that work for them, you can bank an hour, and then that hour would go towards whatever their specialty, their expertise was in. So if, say, they were an accountant, maybe they give you an hour back because you shoveled their yard for an hour or whatever. And so that's a project that actually won the contest. It was interesting. On the 16th, CCI stakeholder meeting on HHS and the funding cuts and how we're going to manage that. The purpose of the meeting was to better understand the why for districting and shared services, including the research and data collection, discussion around planning and the rollout phases. Also, who's going to pay for it. The technology development that's going to happen is going to be another unfunded mandate to counties. On the 16th, as Commissioner Lucero stated, the interagency working group met, and there's going to be a lot of competitiveness of agriculture over recreation. Ag Services and maintains the state resources. The State Land Board has a constitutional mandate to lease the lands to the best stewardship, leasing possible while maintaining Colorado School District revenue. 96% of the state leases are ag leases, and the current land in the State Land Board portfolio is best suited for ag because of the unique topography, the social characteristics, especially noted in the short grass prairie. Grammy grasses need root stimulation caused by cattle for grazing. Is the burden of proof in order to change land use? State land board leases are a constitutional requirement to benefit ag and school districts. So when we have our meeting tomorrow, we need to remember that, gentlemen. And that's my report, sir.
Thank you, sir. And Commissioners, thank you for your reports. On the 7th, CCI, I want to remind everyone, if you're interested, Colorado Counties Inc. is going to have a series of lunch and learn virtual meetings. They're an hour. Last on the 7th of January, they hosted a meeting on grant writing 101. It was actually very interesting. I attended, and one of the key points was how good are we to tell the story when we're writing a grant. You know very well that the better you tell the story and what you're going to be using those dollars for, that's when the grantor is going to look favorably on the grantees. So the presenter actually went through what do you do when you get denied on one round. What do you do to correct if they open up another round? Sometimes we think, well, we're not going to reach out to them. It is, you can actually go back. She cleared out so many what ifs. That was a very good thing. So I encourage all of you to join these lunch and learn sessions that CCI is going to be hosting in 2026. On the 8th, the Community Coalition and Keep Trinidad Safe, hosted by Marcy Key and Public Health, and also Claudia Mora, who is an assistant professor of research at the University of Colorado, College of Nursing, and the Colorado School of Public Health. This particular project has been going on for a couple of years, perhaps even longer than that. But one of the things that the project locally is working on is how do we erase the stigma for someone that is on substance use and the disorders that come attached to it. And so there are a series of videos, very short videos, 30 seconds, perhaps 45 seconds, that are now going to be housed, within the Los Angeles County Health Department website. And so you can go in there, and we have had an opportunity to look at, I think there are 6 or 7 videos in there, very, very powerful, interesting. How do you talk to someone that is going through substance use and taking this from a perspective of education rather than being antagonistic and not understanding the project. So this project is being completed, of course, through a grant, and with this particular grant, there are several graduate students that are working in the program, with the program, and they're going to be coming down to Trinidad to do, there's going to be an open session, a presentation at night of activities. So I encourage anyone, and later on I'll come up with the exact date of when that's going to take place. And Commissioner Haas, as you mentioned, on the 9th, the C-Corp meeting, we had an opportunity, and perhaps later on we have a presentation from the San Luis County Huerfano Director, Ms. Gonzalez. She can perhaps expound on that for just a moment, but we were able to give a letter of support through the COAC, also going to the Opioid Abatement Council. One of the interesting points that I was visiting with Commissioner Haas and also with Ms. Gonzalez is that now we're getting some of the state-funded agencies, CDPHE and the Early Childhood Council, coming to the COAC and the opioid regions to ask for acknowledgement so they can get dollars for infrastructure. So I believe that that's going to be taken away from the local opportunities, and so I very, very not intentionally, but I received a phone call as we were getting ready to vote, and I walked away simply, thank you so much for picking up the vote and voting against that. So that was absolutely awesome. On the 16th, I had an opportunity to have a conversation with Representative Winter. He connected me through the opioid and through the BASOs, the Behavioral Health Service Organizations, as I'm on the board as well, with a company called Next Chapter regarding behavioral health for veterans and, of course, ag communities. We had a pretty extensive meeting, and so Representative Winter met this individual, Mr. Jose Ramirez, and so he and I connected. We're going to be connecting the BASOs, we're going to be connecting the BHA, and perhaps even the opioid Region 19 to see how we can provide services, behavioral health in the outlying areas of San Luis County. Of course, Representative Winter is interested in all these 9 counties, whether it's through telehealth, applying for some dollars, even through the opioid funds for services for these communities that have been, in a sense, forgotten. Commissioner Lucero kind of mentioned on the Eastern Plains renewable energy. These are 18 counties through the South to Council of Governments, 18 counties that on the Eastern Plains that are actually mapping all the current and planned projects for energy. And they're looking at infrastructure, so there's going to be a study that will take place for the next 12 months. We're going to have a very clear and specific of what do we have within those 18 counties and what are some of the opportunities and possibilities for renewable energy, to include helium, whether this is energy that could be used for general consumption or not. But the study is going to be pretty impactful. There were three companies that were selected. Energia is the main company that actually has 2 sub companies that are going to be working and helping with what is happening, but the forecast on expected project based on project storage, and assess the timing, the nature, along with the magnitude of project. And then one of the things that these particular 18 counties were looking at is also looking at the economic impact. The renewable energy and land use policies for the entire 18 counties. One of the challenges, as we said on the renewable energy and land use policies that we have with CCI, is how do you align 18 counties to have the same land use regulations? That's going to be where the challenge lies in. And so that kind of flows right into the meeting that we had with CCI. One of the, through Colorado counties, we had a meeting on these renewable energy and land use policies of what's going to happen for the 2026 legislative session. We needed to, last Friday, we had a pretty lengthy conversation of well over an hour, common areas and negotiating with energy developers on improved process and initiatives. One of the representatives from Inner West Energy Alliance, Mr. Chris Menges, he basically came and gave us a report, having a conversation with COSA, which is the Colorado Solar and Storage Association, saying that in a sense right now, the system is not broken. But one of the goals that the governor has in the 2026 session, he made a promise, and that's part of his legacy. He wants to go all in order to create a net zero emissions by 2050. And so all of these initiatives are going to be unfunding, passing on a lot of unfunded mandates to counties. One of the things that we said is for a county our size, we don't have the debt capacity and perhaps even the knowledge to extrapolate on complicated projects. However, as Animas County, we have had the opportunity to review, assess, and approve some pretty large projects. So we'll see what happens, but to hear from the developers that things are working well, and no, we should not be introducing legislation. So the conversation was around, let's get together with the governor's team and see exactly what is it that they're looking for. What do they want counties to do? And again, my comments at the CCI meeting continue to be the same. How do we align the 1041 regulations that we have, meaning from the initial application of a producer all the way to the approval of the project, and do we have those resources locally? And they're putting a timeline of approval on these particular projects, and the worry is now that we're gonna have deadlines that are gonna be met. So we'll see where the governor goes with this, but I can tell you that we hope. We closed that meeting in a very positive perspective. We hope that the governor is willing to sit down with CCI and come up with what exactly is it that the Gov's office is looking to do versus what can counties do. So interesting information. And also, let me remind all of you that as the legislative session goes on the first day, on the very first day of the session, 94 bills were introduced. 94. And so imagine that. So I haven't even kept count on what is happening as of today, but it's going to be busy. So if you have an opportunity for anyone listening online, but an opportunity to testify. If it's going to be impacting counties, as Commissioner Tony has, if there is a nexus to a county, if there is a negative impact to a county, we are going to be there. We're going to be providing that information to our elected officials that are working on the development. So, gentlemen, that's going to be my report. And now we're going to move on to any elected officials updates. Let me call them just to do a roll call. Los Animas County Assessor, Los Animas County Clerk and Recorder, Los Animas County Treasurer, Los Animas County Sheriff, Los Animas County District Attorney, and Los Animas County Coroner. Hearing that, we're going to move now to presentations. This morning we have a presentation from Los Animas, where from the county's health district is King Gonzalez and Robin Sykes. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. She and I are about the same height. Kim Gonzalez, Los Animas, North County District Health Department, Public Health Director. And with me I have
Robin Sykes, Los Angeles, Northfield County's environmental health.
And thank you all for allowing us to come today and talk to you about the gray water bill, House Bill 1362, that was enacted in January of 26. And we caught wind of this at the end of 26, or the end of 25, sorry, we're in 26. That we needed to bring this to the county commissioner's attention. That if we do not opt out of House Bill 1362, counties will be allowing gray water systems to be installed within the counties. And with that comes compliance and engineering and figuring out who that responsibility would lie under, whether it be Los Animas County or the health department. And as we talk about, unfunded mandates, here's another one of these House bills that does not come with money. And so after Robin and I have actually looked into this, we have presented to Portland County as well last week, I believe it was last week. Yeah. And then we also had another session with them as well with their housing department. And so we are recommending that Los Animas County opt out, given there is no additional funding. And Robin can answer the questions you have with regard to gray water. That's her specialty. But we did go forward with Portland County and did opt out as well.
Well, thank you for bringing this information to us once again. I won't even begin to imagine what if this was going to be implemented. Right now, in the midst of budgetary downwind for pretty much every county throughout the state, you would require our own personnel, and not just anyone walking off the street. You've got to probably have some sort of certifications to do A, B, C, D. And this is what we want our constituents to understand, that we are a voice for them, but also that the legislature, we've said that to them. If you want us to implement A, you have to help the counties by funding it. As far as the knowledge and perspective, that would come from you. So personally, I want to thank you for bringing this to us and for the advocacy as two county regions. So commissioners?
Well, thanks for bringing it.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we made you guys aware of this, that all of a sudden if a system does come up front and is presented to the building department, that you guys are prepared to handle that, as well as us at the health department. And so we also were aware that the counties that have reported to CDPHE opting out are Fremont, Route, Hinsdale, Rio Grande, Gunnison, and La Plata.
And Jefferson.
Yeah, and so not every county has gone through this process. They're still doing, as we are, going to their county commissioners. But as far as the counties, they're realizing the funding that would go behind this person, because you have reporting, you have the continuous of monitoring these systems, monitoring the installation.
It's the engineer design, because they all have to be designed by an engineer, so that's an impact on just on the homeowner as well. And then there's the continual maintenance and records that have to be maintained on these systems, because if they transfer to another party, another owner, they all have to be aware and comply with what the engineer set forth in that virtual design. So it's a pretty heavy lift for anybody to take on that project. We're not in a position, we don't have the expertise, the knowledge, or the bandwidth at this point to even oversee anything.
Is a gray water system, engineered system, in cost similar to a septic engineered system?
No, they are upwards of $1,000, $1,000 and up. And it just depends on the type of gray water you're going to use, whether you're going to do it within your house, or you have to redo your plumbing so that you can use that gray water to continue to flush your toilets, or if you're going to do it laundry landscape, which is an underground dispersal system.
So there'd be a cost to the homeowner and a cost, it'd be a cost on your end because you have to hire.
Well, we don't know who it would technically fall under. In talking to Portland County, it would look like it would fall under the county. And so,
Usually the building department.
yeah, and so it would require an additional person, training and background education behind that person. Also, the miles, the time, just travel. We have the largest county by square mile in Colorado. And so there's a lot to go into this. And it's not to say that you couldn't eventually opt back into something. You could later on after you've done research and if it's feasible for the county, but at this time, the best option is to opt out, to not put either the county or the health department in a situation that we can maintain this type of system.
Well, no additional questions. Since we got I'm going to ask you a question on a whole different, can you talk a little bit about the application that you were putting in for to the opioid, which I think I didn't do enough justice to your,
So many years ago, the health department worked with the Denver University School of Architects and InWorks. We had Michael Jensen and Monica Wig go to Orfano County and do prototyping of the community, walkable community, and realize that the health department in Orfano County is not sufficient to house not only our health department staff, but also the programs, to be able to stand up programs that are needed as well. So with that, we've developed a design that is a one-stop shop, which will encompass public health, early childhood, Department of Human Services, and mental health, like all on one campus. It'll look like we're connected, but yet we will have like those warm handoffs together. And so we are in the process of the schematic design. We did have a transition of architects through this process. We're working with McKinstry architect firm right now, And so in the next few months, we should have a full schematic design. And so for the infrastructure grant, we applied for funding to be able to go into professional design and pre-construction documents, which will give us those blueprints to go into design. And so we realized also as, Orfano County is a very impoverished community. We can't go to the community and ask for funding. So we are trying to fund this campus through grants, contracts, philanthropies. We're hoping to not be able to have to go to the loans or, applying for funding to be able to have to pay back. But if we do, with that process, we will, in the public health side, we'll have the mental health or childhood. We'll also have a rentable space, which we've talked to Spanish Peaks Regional Health Center, and possibly renting that out as a women's clinic to have generating income on this campus as well. And so it's going to be at the community center in Walsenburg. When you drive into Walsenburg, you see those big green barriers. Well, at one point, we thought we were going to put it right where those big turkey buildings are in the fuel tanks. It was going to cost over $2 million to mitigate that area. So we worked with Orfano County, and the commissioners have donated land. And so we're going on the back side of the baseball fields. And so we're working on ingress and egress of this clean slate of land. And so also with the infrastructure dollars, we've asked for environmental studies, which will include geothermal study, traffic study, and environmental phase 1 assessment on this piece of land. And so it's been, we got delayed because of response with COVID. And so now we've picked it back up, and our goal is to have, this one-stop shop campus. And then we wanted to start small because it may be an opportunity that we bring to Orfano County for the future. And there are no other health departments in Colorado that have done this style of campus, and so we're setting the pace and being a pilot program. And we were awarded infrastructure dollars in round 2, and that's how we got to the phases that we are. Colorado Health Foundation funded the first initial phases that we went through, and so we've been fortunate to work with many partners to get this moving forward. So it's exciting. And my goal is to have this up and going in 2 years. So, and one more is we're working with a gentleman from New York on tax credits for this campus as well, which is another unique idea to bring in funding. And so, and that came forward through Aprana, who you guys met, who did our marketing analysis and worked with us on some financial stuff too. So.
Well, we wish you well on the project, and very interested in the geothermal opportunities there. So.
Yeah, and today is a walkthrough of site tours of the entities that are existing in both counties, and then tomorrow is a 4-hour session on looking at what type of design and how we see this in the communities, the design phases. Do we want it modern? Do we want it farmhouse? Do we want it coal mining? And the previous architect had this out of this world design that just didn't fit the community. So we're looking at, aesthetically what fits, what's welcoming to the community. So it's exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have another presentation by the Animas County Veteran Service Officer, Mr. Matthew Dominguez. Thank you.
Good to see you up all over. Thank you, sir.
Still working on it a little bit. Thank you.
packet that I just handed to you all is information that was passed down to the VSOs from the state. The first page has our POAs, which is for June, September, August, and October. So the POAs for us are for veterans or spouses that we hadn't seen before, so they're new to our office. So for June, we have 14 total new POAs. September, we had 16. August, we only had 1. And October, we had 16. So on those numbers, we're having new individuals come in, whether they're new veterans to the county or veterans that hadn't been into the office before, or their spouses of deceased veterans. On the second page, Los Animas County, they're given the population updates. And these numbers kind of change a little bit because on the next page they changed again. But we had 407 claims put in, and we had 806 of the veteran population that's not being served for the county for the month of September. And that was with the old numbers. With the new numbers, it was still 407 claims, but 699 of the veterans not served, and I think that's from veterans moving in and out of the county. And October was 406 still, with 700 of the veterans not being served, which gave us a 37% of the population that we're serving, and put us at rank 24 in the county, or in the state, out of all the counties.
So, Mr. Rodriguez, on the 700 that are just kind of the average, that are not being served, does that mean that they haven't applied not only on this particular region? Or let me ask a clarifying question. If a veteran does not lives in the San Luis County, but is getting services outside of the region, are they counted here, or are they counted in a different, where they're being served?
They'll be counted where they're being served. So for some of those numbers, the veteran might not necessarily need to come in to see us. They might have 100% disability rating and don't really need to see the veteran service officer because all the needs are being met at that time. So there's a chance that we don't hit all those veterans just because they don't have a need to see us at that time. The last page is the updated veteran population from 2023, 2024, and 2025. It looks like our numbers have decreased. We have 1,138 in 2023, 1,106 in 2024, and 1,083 in 2025 for our veteran population. At our last training, they said that out of that 1,083, 89 of those veterans are women, the women population. So we use Vetrospect to do our claims for the state. And in my Vetrospect system, I have 43 of the women logged into my system. So out of that 83, I have 43. I have 803 logged into my Vetrospect system total veterans. So that's how many active are in our computer system. From January 1st to December 31st of last year, I logged in Excel 193 veteran claim cases, which are the cases that I have to follow with updates, so they could be death benefits for the family, new claims, increases, veterans looking for disabled vet plates, anything that I needed to do paperwork on and make sure that the veteran, I had to follow up on them. That's what I logged, and I had 193 of those cases. For back pay, for all the veterans that I served last year, there was a total of $147,103.49 for back pay and benefits. For new benefits coming in for those veterans, it was $441,699.02 coming in. That would be new income coming in this year. New things that we did last year, Congressman Byrd put out that he wanted to do mobile hours, so I did 2 sessions at Fort Whoopin where the Congressman's team came in. In both of those sessions, all the individuals in there were veterans. I had some of the veterans that asked for the Congressman's team to look at their cases. We also did one recruitment day where I had all the armed forces branches come in, and we set that up at Fort Whoopin as well. And we had military age young adults come in, and I believe the recruiter said they had 5 that actually reached back out to them. We had Will Cockinson's GMC out of Pueblo donated clothing to the Veteran Service Office, which I turned over to Fort Whoopin. That was the first time, and I'm getting ready this week to do a second. They did a food drive and a clothing drive, and they're gonna meet with me this week, and we're gonna turn it back over to Fort Whoopin so they can help distribute it to the veterans in the community. That's what I have for updates this year.
Well, thank you for the leaders. That's over $500,000 on back pay and new benefits for veterans in San Luis County. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
That is awesome. Thank you for the advocacy and the representation that you have. And I know you work with I think Mount Carmel also has do they still have a representative that works?
They do, and he started doing the other food distribution at the fairgrounds, so we should have 2, one through Mount Carmel, and then the other one that was already going that the American Legion helps distribute as well.
I want to connect you with Mr. Ramirez, the one individual that Representative Winter set up a meeting specifically to provide benefits for veterans. And I'm not sure exactly what add-on benefits, but I think it would be a very good collaborative effort to see what it has that you can expound on and extend to our local veterans as well.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a phone call and communicate with them and connect the 3 of us so we can carry the conversation. Because, you know, at the end of the day, when I said through the bosses, the behavioral health service organizations, one of the things that I'm really will continue to say is that the agricultural community has been forgotten. And I know Commissioner Tony has continues to be the voice for that statewide. And a lot of the veterans are also part of the ag community. So I think it's a combination of the 2. So I will make that connection, and thank you for this report, commissioners.
If you had to speculate, you have to pull up a crystal ball, how many vets do you think aren't in the system that live in the county?
If I had to guess, I'd say there's quite a bit. I couldn't give you an actual number. I know in our Bonaire area, out that area towards Aguilar, where there's large ranches, there's a lot of veterans that we've been trying to get to join the American Legion from the the Aguilar post, but they're just don't want to come around right now. But it's mostly those rural areas. I've seen a lot of new traffic coming in for the veterans that are moving into the community. As soon as they stop in and get their plates, then they walk down the hall and see me. So we see the guys that are staying in town, but it's the guys in the rural areas that we're not seeing.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna go to the next section. Mr. Doricamp, do you have any signage for public comments, sir?
No one signed up for
Thank you, sir. I don't see anyone online, but let me ask anyone that is online, if anyone online wishes to address the Board of County Commissioners, this would be the time to do so. You can get 3 minutes. Hearing that, we're gonna go to section 8, unfinished business. Commissioners, we laid these 3 items on the table as of the last meeting that we had. So at this time, 8A, consideration of millage change order 010 electrical upgrades. I'm going to entertain a motion to remove from the table.
So,
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Searle, Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. And so back to you, Mr. Doricamp, on this particular item.
Commissioner, before you for your consideration is millage change order 010. It is for the ongoing cloth wiring mediation, and then also they installed some emergency lights and signs and other things as part of this change order. It won't affect the overall contract price at this point. These monies will be coming out of the conduit allowance.
And I know you were going to follow up. You had a couple of questions on some of the numbers. I'm sure you have had conversations with Millie and all is well.
Yes, all is well. That's my conversation was why there wasn't any net increase or decrease, and they explained it to me because we had, and I didn't find the number before the board meeting, but I think we had around $150,000 to $200,000 worth of conduit allowance within the original contract that these funds are being pulled out of. So you see that the balance of the conduit allowance is $8,200 and change.
Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Doricamp? Hearing none, the total amount, once again, Mr. Doricamp, for this particular change order is?
The total amount is $22,339, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. If I have no other questions, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve the millage change order 010 electrical upgrades. You said it's in the amount of $22,339.
That's correct. But there will not be any additional expense on the county since it's coming out of the conduit allowance.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. Item 8B, once again, consideration of millage change order 011 emergency lights. That item as well was laid on the table, so at this time I will entertain a motion to remove from the table.
I'll second.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes, and back to you, Mr. Doricamp.
Similar to the change order 10, Commissioners, this change order has to do with replacing third floor fixtures of the stairwells and stuff. Again, we came across additional areas on the third and fourth floors that need lighting, emergency exit signs, etc. So that's what this change order is for. It's $3,247, but again, coming out of the conduit allowance. And the conduit allowance will be $4,956.
Thank you.
Upon approval of this change order, if it's approved.
Thank you. So Commissioners, this time, if there is no conversation, I will entertain a motion to approve 8B for the amount of $3,247.
Move to approve the millage change order 011 emergency lights for the amount of $3,247.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes. Thank you. The next 8C, consideration of resolution 26007, hours of operation. That as well was laid on the table. Commissioners, I will entertain a motion to remove from the table.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes. Mr. Conrad.
Resolution of the Board of County Commission of Los Angeles County, Colorado, establishing the hours of operation for offices and departments of Los Angeles County during calendar year 2026. Resolution number 26-007, whereas in accordance with CRS 30-10-109, the Board of County Commissioners is authorized to establish the hours of operation for all offices and departments of the county for access by the public in the transaction of daily business during the calendar year 2026. And whereas it is the desire of the Board of County Commission of Los Angeles County to accommodate the needs of the general public during 2026, to provide access to the various offices and departments of the county by establishing hours of operation during which times the general public may transact business in such offices and departments except for designated holidays, such business to include payments of taxes and fees, obtaining information, acquiring licenses, records, and other documents, etc. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of County Commission of Los Angeles County, Colorado. 1, the public hours, excluding road and bridge, maintenance, veteran affairs, Los Angeles County Clerk and Recorder. During the calendar year 2026, all offices and departments of Los Angeles County, excluding road and bridge, maintenance, veterans affairs, and clerk and recorder, shall be open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. to the public. These offices and departments will be closed Saturday through Sunday on designated holidays. 2, public hours for Los Angeles County Clerk and Recorder's Office of Veterans Affairs during the calendar year 2026. Los Angeles County Clerk and Recorder's Office shall be open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:15 p.m. to the public. The Veteran Affairs Office shall be open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. These offices will be closed Saturday through Sunday on designated holidays. 3, public access to the courthouse. Public access into the Los Angeles County courthouse shall be allowed Monday through Friday, beginning at 7 a.m. and concluding at 5:30 p.m. except for designated holidays. However, access to various offices and agencies during these times may be limited according to their specific hours of public operation. On a motion made to second affirmative vote, this resolution was adopted on the 20th day of January 2026 by the Board of County Commissioners, Los Angeles County, Colorado, followed by your signature.
Thank you, Mr. Conrad. Commissioners, any questions on this resolution? I will entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve resolution 26-007, hours of operation.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. New business, 9A, consideration of resolution 26010, opting out of House Bill 24-1362, thereby prohibiting the installation of gray water treatment works and the use of gray water. Mr. Conrad.
Resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado, prohibiting the installation of gray water treatment works and the use of gray water. Resolution number 26-101, whereas pursuant to House Bill 24-1362, a person may install gray water treatment works and use gray water in accordance with CRS section 25-8-205, print 1G in print, and rules adopted pursuant to CRS section 25-8-205, print 1G in print, unless the Board of County Commission adopts a resolution pursuant to CRS section 30-11-107, print 1 KK in print, prohibiting the installation of gray water treatment works and the use of all gray water in the county, prohibiting one or more categories of gray water use that the Water Quality Control Commission establishes in rules adopted pursuant to CRS section 25-8-205, print 1G in print. And whereas the Board of County Commission of Los Angeles County finds that prohibiting the installation of gray water treatment works and the use of all gray water is in the best interest of the public health, safety, and welfare. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of County Commission of Los Angeles County, Colorado, as follows. 1, the installation of gray water treatment works and the use of all gray water is hereby prohibited within unincorporated Los Angeles County. 2, Los Angeles County does not have the adequate resources to regulate this gray water treatment works. 3, any section, paragraph, clause, or provision of this resolution shall be for any reason be held to be invalid or unenforceable. The invalidity or unenforceability of such section, paragraph, clause, provisions shall not affect any of the remaining provisions of this resolution, for the resolution shall be in full force and effect upon its passage and approval. Upon motion made to second affirmative vote, this resolution was adopted this 20th day of January 2026 by order of the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado, followed by your signature.
Thank you, Mr. Noriega. Commissioners, any questions on this? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve resolution 26010, opting out of House Bill 241362, thereby prohibiting the installation of gray water treatment works and the use of gray water.
Second?
Commissioner Sarah?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes, thank you. Go to 9B, consideration of resolution 26-012, proposal PUC's clean heat natural gas phase out and energy choice and affordability. Mr. Veronica, please read the resolution.
Resolution, Board of County Commissioners, Los Angeles County, Colorado, opposing the Colorado PUC clean heat natural gas phase out for energy choice and affordability. Resolution number 26-012, whereas on December 1, 2025, the Colorado Public Utilities Commission, created PUC input, issued a decision proceeding number 25R-0309G, establishing a 22% by 2030 and 41% by 2035 greenhouse gas emission reduction associated with natural gas deliveries. Whereas this decision advances the pathway toward 100% decarbonization of the gas system by 2050, effectively promoting forced electrification of heating systems, appliances, and infrastructure through utility incentives, programs, and potential restrictions on natural gas use. Whereas the PUC's mandate is projected to result in significant increases in utility rates and customer costs per annum, potentially exceeding $20,000 to retrofit of existing residents according to Action Colorado Infinite, including subsidies for heat pumps, weatherization, electrification, programs funded by ratepayers, with experts warning of higher energy bills, potential energy poverty, disproportionate impacts on low-income households, those on fixed income, seniors, and rural communities. And whereas the board supports reasonable environmental stewardship, finds that a one-size-fits-all regulatory approach has historically caused undue hardships on rural, disproportionately impacted residents, and must account for local fiscal capacity, existing infrastructure, economic impact, and geographic diversity. Now therefore, be resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado. 1, the board opposes the PUC's clean heat plan is concurrently structured due to its disproportionate economic impacts, forced electrification of gas heating systems, lack of dedicated funding, and adverse effects on rural counties and their citizens. 2, a full assessment of grid capacity upon upgrade costs, electric delivery reliability be completed before any forced electrification takes place. 3, implemented in full, provide exemptions, grants, and financial assistance to needy residents. 4, the board calls upon the Colorado General Assembly, governor, and relevant state agencies to enact legislative reforms that prioritize affordability, energy reliability, customer choice, and rural equity, including revising or repealing elements of Senate Bill 21-264 that enable such mandates without sufficient cost controls or exemptions for impacted communities. On motion made and seconded, affirmative vote, this resolution was adopted this 20th day of January 2026. The order of the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado, followed by your signature.
Thank you, Mr. Veronica. Commissioners, any questions on the resolution? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve resolution 26-012, opposing PUC's clean heat natural gas phase out and for energy choice and affordability.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Sarah?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes. Thank you. 9C, consideration of Covering Web Creations website compliance proposal. Covering, that's Mr. Veronica.
You know
Thank you, Ms. Brazowski. Sykes. Have a good day.
Commissioners, House Bill 21-1110 created a requirement that documents be able to be accessed by folks who are challenged visually and other ADA requirements. There was, I think, a House bill that was added onto that allowed for an extension of the deadline. The original deadline was January 2024. Please don't hold me to that date. And Los Animas County's been slowly pecking away at making our website and associated documents ADA accessible, and this is part of that. Coberly Web Design, or Web Creations, excuse me, was a company that originally helped us with our website on the SIPA platform, which is state-run, using, I believe it's called Frugal or some other type of software. But anyway, so we asked them and other website remediation firms to send us some information on what they can do to help us out. And their proposal is to help us with contrast ratio, form labels, heading structure, text alternatives on images and links, unique linking, ADA compliance assessments, updated website content reflecting adjustments made for ADA compliance, documentation of accessibility testing results, and training materials and sessions for staff on maintaining ADA compliance for website content. And I know through our conversation with some of these folks, one of the things that we're going to have to look at doing, like as an example, the links that are on your agenda, those links are going to have to be spelled out so that a screen reader can actually read those links rather than looking at the HTTPS and all the other extended stuff. So their fee to do that work is $4,500, and I added another company's Grackle, kind of trying to compare apples to apples. Their digital assessment, accessibility assessment is $5,500, but within their assessment, they're not actually going to go into the website and fix some of the problems we have on that website as Coberly Web will. And I also added in the procurement exceptions, and I couldn't get a third company to give us a quote of any sort. I did reach out to Alliant, and they use a Common Look software, which on a tangent, we put in for a SIPA grant to use Alliant's Common Look software then to remediate our PDF document set that are going to be basically phase 2 of probably 3 or 4 or 5 phase step to try and get in wholly compliance. But I think the board won under $6,000 procurement, as long as we have 3 quotes or show good faith to get 3 quotes that the board can approve. What is being recommended to the board, in this case, Coberly Web Creations. But then secondly, I also added in exceptions to the procurement process. So item number 5, short-term contracts, licensed professionals such as attorneys, engineers, architects, and medical professionals will be authorized by the BOCC without going through all the procurement policy. But I think we covered the procurement policy requirements through 2 different channels. One is under $6,000. We do everything we could to get a third quote, can't get a third quote. And then secondly, the short-term contract. So that's the board to approve Coberly Web Creations submittal of $4,500.
Thank you, Mr. Duran, but I know what one of the requirements for the language access legislative mandates as well. These will be probably, we're going to be on track to provide any type of document in basically in the language. And so what I see that DHS is already a participant with this particular web developer. They list Mr. Aragon as one of the references, which is really very clear. A question perhaps on the leaning legal, but this, as the contract comes out, and this is actually intellectual property, software property that belongs to the county, and given accessibility to somebody else, I know this is all public information. Are they going to be extending a contract, or is this going to be a purchase order?
I'm gonna request the contract, so it's spelled out specifically what exactly that they're going to do.
That makes me feel good, because then we'll have a different set of eyes and check with that.
And Commissioner, we don't own any of the software that are, it's all CIPA's, City of Colorado's. So, intellectual property, part of it, I'm not sure, but when you talk about where our documents, et cetera, will have to be readable, for lack of a better description, in any language, this is another one of those unfunded mandates. This is gonna be an ongoing expense, and I'm not saying whether it's good, better, or different, I'm just saying it's gonna be an ongoing expense in the county, because every document we have available to the public, we're gonna have to remediate, we have to make sure it's compliant, and hope like heck we don't be crossways somehow. But as the state said, you don't have to be perfect as long as you're showing progress. We are showing progress. It's gonna be a while that you nail down perfection, which I don't ever see happen. There's always gonna be something.
You stole my thunder, I was just gonna close with that. So, that was the comment that was said on one of the presentations, that's correct.
I have one question. So, Mr. Edel and Mr. Wall made comments at the end of this where they frequently assist with last minute requests and questions, and is that an additional cost to the 4,400, or is that included in the contract to help fine tune those procedures?
Commissioner, I'm not sure what you were looking at, I apologize.
If we end up having to have our system fine tuned, is that included in the overall price, or is that going to be an additional cost to the county, to the $4,400 or whatever?
My understanding is that will be, but we'll see what the contract says. I think a data website contact, test results, web content. So I believe that's going to be part of it. We'll see what the contract actually says.
So if we need them to come in and tweak something for us, it's not really.
The owner of this company has been really good, and I can't say that this is going to happen in the future. She has been really good about helping us through not only this process, but our entire website. When we have issues, shoot her an email. She's really good about getting back to us and not charging us for it. She's really good. So if she believes she has incurred a cost outside of what the contract scope will be, I wouldn't be hesitant, of course, it would be a board decision, wouldn't be hesitant to pay her for those extra fees if needed. And I think, and please correct me, Finance Director Colby, I believe we budgeted, was it 30,000, 50,000 for ADA compliance? I'm sorry. Commissioner, I believe we budgeted 50,000 for compliance. It may be 30, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
I don't
got you
know.
off guard.
I don't know right off the top of my head, I apologize.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have some money built into the budget to
I was just curious if that was written into as part of the contract to assist us.
and I apologize, I don't have a direct answer for it.
Well, and, when they list some of the clients, they have NOAA, CDPHE. These are some, Sun and Fire Colorado, CSP Colorado, .gov. They have quite a few very selective clients that they have worked with, CDPHE, with all the regulations and documents that they have. And I really believe that this is probably the first step of a few more, because of all the complexities that these ADA rules and regulations are going to be mandating. So any additional conversation on this side, commissioners? Hearing none, I'm going to entertain a motion.
Move to approve the Coverly Web Creations website compliance proposal.
Second.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. 90, consideration of Sunflower Valley Pipeline Association voting proxy appointment. Mr. Darlington.
Commissioner, before you for consideration is Sunflower Valley Pipeline Association voting proxy appointments.
We had spoken about this earlier, and I correct that either Commissioner Lucero.
That was the enlarged south side, I think.
Oh, okay.
You want to do that? I'm probably gonna have to be there anyway, because I have to vote, I got water rights up there.
So since
That'd be better, it saves the confusion if you're there as a proxy for that. There.
So I'll make the motion to consideration of the Sunflower Valley Pipeline Association voting proxy appointment would be Commissioner Lucero and secondary Commissioner Hess.
Second motion. That was a motion, correct?
Yes, that was a motion.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes. Thank you. Consideration of 2026 CCI steering committee voting proxy. Mr. Dorica.
Commissioner, before you for your consideration is the 2026 CCI Steering Committee's voting proxy.
It isn't broken, and I like to leave it unbroken, so I think since Commissioner Haas is gonna have to be there at all the meetings anyhow, face to face, and he's gonna be in Denver, whereas we get an opportunity to stay back a little bit. I'd like to nominate Commissioner Haas as the voting proxy for the San Luis County.
I'll second it.
And if there's a chance that I'm not gonna be there, then we have to have a backup, correct?
That's correct.
Is that in a separate motion? No, it's on the same one. Mr. Lopez being alternate. Mr. Hess is.
And the reason I brought that up, I'll second the motion. The reason I brought that up was there may be times when I'm going to have to testify on bills or something, so again, not to stay.
So Tony will be our voting member and who's will be proxy.
I will be.
And I second
And-
that motion.
Yes, and now go ahead and go.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes. And so what happens, as the chairman of the board, I have the authority, say that the two of us are going to be absent for that particular meeting, to appoint by direct communication on that day of the meeting, someone else.
your communication to CCI.
That is correct. Communication directly to the executive director of CCI. And, but again, it would be in agreement within the three of us. And then we have Commissioner Lucero, if he would be available, and if not, then we can go even with the county administrator or anyone else within the organization structure. Okay, thank you. Consideration of designation of representative to CHP. Mr. Veronica.
Commissioner, before you for your consideration is our designation representative to CHP, County Health.
And it doesn't have to be one of the other guys who'd like to do that. We can do that too.
I am going to say the same thing, it is not broken, and if you are comfortable in continuing in that position, Commissioner Hess, I will make the motion that you would be the representative to the county health board.
I'll second it. Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. 9G, consideration of OBCC 7047 for transfer of funds to county general. Mr. John Campbell, your finance director, overview.
I will defer to Finance Director Cole.
This is what we do every year, so what we're doing is we're ending 2025, we're moving over all the allocations to general fund and general bridge, so we're clearing up the sub-accounts. So let's see, this includes the balance of all the funding that came in for each one of these different categories. So this is me just moving everything over. As you can see, road and bridge, I'm not there yet. I'll have it next time, so. This is general fund.
Yes. Thank you, Finance Director Corley. Any questions? I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve OECC 7047 for transfer of funds to county general.
Second. Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes. 9H, consideration of OBCC 7048 for transfer of funds, road and bridge, and this is where Finance Director wanted to go earlier.
So it doesn't show you, I'm sorry, the other one attached is one, 0130 is already negative. So that's why we're moving the funds over for that one. Yeah, because I'm saying, because he has, the sub-accounts is where all the large money comes in. So that's where we're moving the money to 0130, and that's where it works.
Thank you. Any questions for Finance Director Coverly? I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve OBCC 7048 for transfer of funds to Road and Bridge.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes. 9I, consideration of 2025 road inventory submissions to Garland County.
For your consideration, Commissioner, is our annual road inventory submission for year 2025. Had a few changes as shown in your packet. We added 2.75 miles worth of asphalt on County Road 13 and, excuse me, I've got and 0.16 and 1.3 and 0.65 and 1.35 on there, kind of was 319 and 13 on.
But as far as the overall number of linear miles, pretty much remained as 2025, correct?
Correct, we did not add any new mileage.
Thank you, sir. Questions for Mr. Garland County Commissioners? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve the 2025 road inventory submission.
Second.
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes. 9J, consideration of Jolly Pig contract for removal of gravel boundary adjustment, Mr. Garland County.
Commission, before you for your consideration is Jolly Pit contract for removal of gravel. That is in essence a boundary adjustment. When we got a inspection done by the, used to be Division of Minerals and Geology at the state level, they determined that one of the access roads into the pit needed to be included in the boundary. And so we made a couple of adjustments on the boundary, and that's what's in front of you. Otherwise, the contract is the same as it was previously. So I ask the board to approve this so we can get this submitted to the Division of Minerals.
There won't be any on the old, are you abandoning the road, is that what's taking place?
No, the state's interpretation of how we were using that road up around the edge, the north edge, the north boundary of the pit, they thought that we were using that as part of our pit work, in essence, so they wanted us to encompass that road,
Okay,
piece of that road into the boundary itself, so that's what we do.
thank you. And this is, questions to Mr. Garland County Commissioners? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve Jolly Pit contract for removal of gravel boundary adjustment.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. 9K, consideration of airport terminal grant application, Mr. Garland County. This is a good one.
Yeah, Commissioners, we received word that terminal grants were going to be available. We had the same opportunity last year, I believe it was, and we worked with our FBO, Pinnacle Jet, and we had sent information into then our consultants, our FAA consultants, and we don't really know what happened to our submission. But this year, we got late word that this had been opened back up, the opportunity to go after these funds. Problem was the deadline was January 15th, 5 p.m. So we worked with our FBO operator and our consultants and got this application put together. And I took the liberty of signing it and bringing it in front of the board to ask for your approval to do some work out of our terminal that would include replacing the 1950s boiler with a much newer system, install 6 zone cold climate mini splits, replace 33 single pane windows with low E units, install roof membrane over failing gravel tar system, modernize the electrical, replace the hot water heater. For a total ask of $244,777. It's going to require 5% local match of $12,883. So that's the board to approve this.
And the match also, I see that some of the match is going to be,
Yeah, we may not, yeah.
yes. But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's, you're correct.
There we go. The 3-year project, when is this grant going to be awarded?
We don't know, it's kind of like the Department of Defense's grant we put in for last year. They review everything and then they'll let us know. So
This is a great thing, and I just want to commend Pinnacle Jet operator, Mr. Evan Otto. I think he continues to, Pinnacle commits to providing the required 5% local match in the amount of $12,803. So this is a goodwill perspective, and if the grant is received, the county will be benefactor over $257,000 of a project, which is very, very happy where we need to be. Commissioners, any questions on this particular item? No questions, I'm going to entertain a motion.
Move to approve the airport terminal grant application.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. Consideration of 2025 LACC Public Trustee Report for Clover. Commissioners, pretty much outline amount report. This comes from the county treasurer. No questions? I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve 2025 public, Los Angeles County Public Trustee for Quarter Report.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Searle, Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. Go to section 10, consideration of payroll and bills for the first half of January 2026. Finance Director Overton.
Payroll as of January 15, 2026 is $256,982.20. Do you have any questions on payroll? Invoices paid on January 7th in the amount of $1,221,394.89. Within this packet, we have some large ones. The most is our cap insurance, our annual dues for the cap insurance is $753,563, and then our workman's comp insurance $159,051. I guess anything else in here, if you have a question or anything else I didn't highlight?
No questions. I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve payroll bill for the first half of January 2026.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. The next section is financial report for me, information only, and this is presented on this date when it says December 31st, 2025, year-end close. Finance Director Cory.
So, yeah, I'm presenting just to let you know where we are as of December. It will change due to our audit, because I'm sure, because I still have a lot of revenue coming in and expenditures as well. But I just wanted you to be informed of where we were as of now for December. So, let's see. For general fund, we have a surplus of $161,000. Road and Bridge, we still have funding coming in that hasn't hit. There probably is expenses as well. But right now he has a deficit of 1.8 million. Airport has a surplus of 188,000. Contingent has a surplus of 63,000. Capital expenditure has a deficit of 315,000. Most of that is probably the rainwater funding, project. Lottery is a surplus of 57,000. Fields is a deficit of 86. That's from us transferring to Road and Bridge. LACC, the DUI fund, has a surplus of 1,820. Jail facility has a deficit of 50,000. We transferred 50,000 to the improvement fund, and the improvement fund has a deficit of 36,000. And that's it. But it will, most of it will change just a tad.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, and I know that the question on the Road and Bridge fund, the largest deficit that we have reported here, water has spilled all of it, or
That's all transferred over, but we just paid 1.9 million for the asphalt project, and we will get half of that funding back from DOLA. We are, HUTF is always a month behind. We'll receive that funding here soon. So, and then whatever expenditures that have not gone through for Road and Bridge, and then we'll see where he ends as his fund balance.
Very good. Once again, thank you for putting the balance sheet by department on this particular report. Is very opportune to see where we are, to tell the story internationally, and it's a good feeling to know that the county is up to date, able to pay all its responsibilities and obligations. Any additional questions on this report for our finance director? Thank you. We're going to go to executive session, section 11. The board will meet under CRS 24642 for be conferred with the county attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions. Item A, B as opposition, B contract, C, P66 on CR90, D mandates, E investments, F USDA cooperating agency, G organizational chart, H WUI, and I EIAF. At this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to suspend the Board of County Commissioners and enter into executive session with a small recess.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes.